Sudden on the RPA, there was a new line there and it said, Fortress Fire, wildfire disclosure. And people were freaking out because nobody knew, why is this happening? Why is there a new line? And some buyers, some listing agents had checked the box. Or the buyer's agent checked the box. And then the other side is like, wait, what is this? How much is it? Do we need it? So, just so you know, this is not required for a real estate transaction. However, what this is, it's a report that they give. So if you're selling a house and the buyer wants to know what is going on in my property, I want to show you an aerial view. So it's $140. We are a third party. We don't provide this report. We're just the convenience way of ordering it. $140. I want to show you a picture of what I'm talking about. So back in the day, whenever there was not all these fire issues, what happened was like the Oakland Hills, Santa Rosa. Well, before, let's say this was the high fire area here, well, all of these neighboring areas here weren't told they were in a high-risk area. But when there was big fires and the winds were blowing, guess what was happening? These neighbors were catching on fire too, and they're like, well, we're not in a high-risk zone. So I'm sure there was lawsuits that happened because that's when new laws happened, right? So because of that, there's so many more things here to protect people. So they want these people on the outer part of the very high areas to be aware that they may be within sight of the embers blowing. And so Fortress Fire is a company, they're the ones that have the retardant, the red retardant that they spray over fires to kind of control it. So they have their own report that they can give you that will tell you everything about the property, what you can do to prepare for it, but it's $140. Is it worth it? Yes, it can be very worth it. It is not required for real estate. So that's what I want to tell you guys. It is not a requirement, but it is very convenient. In January, this is the first time that the signature page, so on our credit report, we were just talking about this. On our report, on this first page, we've made this super easy. It will say, this is the brochure you have. First page will say this property is in or not in an AB 38 high or very high risk fire zone. So we took the guesswork out of it. It's going to be on page 1. If this says in, then there is a defensible space inspector that you need to call and see if it needs a defensible space inspection. We provide the number right here for you, who to contact. So we take all that guesswork out of it. And in the last 20 years, we haven't been able to revise the signature page. The signature page is the one page that you have your client sign on the NHD report. That looks like this. So this was revised in January for everybody. And you're never supposed to revise it unless, well, we go by the CAR rules. So the difference is back in the day, before January, it said this home is or is not in a high-risk fire zone. Now it says, is it in a state responsibility, very high, state responsibility high, or very high local? So the difference between the two is if they're in a hill, and if they call the fire department, is it the local fire department coming, or is it the CAL FIRE? So that's how they know which their area is in. So what AB 28 is based around is the state very high or high, or the local very high only. So if it is in a local, oh, this is the first page, right? So this is the first page I'm telling you, looks like this. So you're going to see right here, it's in or not in, and then the defensible space information here. I'm not sure if Billy got the YouTube link up. Maybe she's still working on it. I wanted to show you guys, last week at Bay East, I had Fortress Fire come and speak along with the defensible space inspector, and I recorded it. So it's not the best recording because I was also moderating, but I wanted you guys to hear from the defensible space inspector herself because I think it's important, and to hear right from her. She's going to give you some tips on what are they looking for. For example, did you know that bark is wood chips? So that is flammable. So you want that really away from the house. Like what they're trying to do is make sure that if your fence line has trees hanging on it, then if there's a fire way away and it catches the fence on fire, the fence is going to catch on fire. If the tree is hanging, it's going to keep going and keep going. The fence is going to drag it closer to the house. If you have bushes closer, She said, I'll let her tell you some of it. Anyways, so here's the signature page here. Is this in a special flood hazard area? If this is a yes, I gave you guys a sample, we automatically give you a flood certificate in your email. So it'll be a separate attachment. So let's say this is the property, and this is the property, and this is the house. The table is the house. So the report would say yes, somewhere on that property it's in a high-risk flood zone. However, lenders really want to know about the house. So this flood cert is going to tell you in section D, which I have on there, it's ahead. I'm sorry, I need a little YouTube to keep it flowing, but we're having technical difficulties. On section D, it's going to tell you, is the actual structure / home in a high-risk flood zone? Because if this is not, but the she shed is, or the fence line, the lenders 99% of the time don't care about that. They're more worried about this. So this will tell you yes or no. So you want to make sure if that says yes, you look for this. It comes automatically.
So Annette, this will be in the package?
Yep,
So
it's right there. Yeah, so if your signature page says yes, then you look for this. It's going to be a separate attachment right on the same email that you got your report.
Oh, I see, and then we should send this to the lender.
Yep, the lender actually uses the same company, so they will be getting it from CoreLogic as well.
Got it.
The other thing that I do as an extra feature for my services is I get a report every day that tells me if the properties that you're pulling are in a high-risk flood zone, fire zone, or if they have a PACE or HERO lien on them. Does anybody know what a PACE or HERO lien is? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So it's like if you have energy efficient, like solar, double pane windows, if you put those in, they can offer you sometimes a government-funded loan called PACE or HERO. What happens with those are they are no longer you making a monthly payment, it's part of your lien. So they become a lien on your property. So what we saw in the past is buyers were making offers and the seller forgot they had this lien. So who's going to pay that $25,000 balance or whatever? So we're going to let you know up front. Your prelim should show that. Most companies show it, not all, but we're going to give you that info right away. Not only the info, but it's going to tell you what the contract terms are, when it expires, the phone number to call, and everything. So that's right in the report. So an area of potential flooding that has to do with dam inundation, not necessarily, you won't need flood insurance if this says yes. The only time you need flood insurance is if it's in an A or B zone, and that's when you get this flood cert. So high or very high, so this is what we were talking about, this is new. And then wildland, different. Earthquake, yes, no. I get a lot of questions, people's clients freak out and they say, my property that I want to buy is in an earthquake fault line. I don't want to buy it anymore. And they're like, can you talk to them? So I will never, and I'm sure you guys will never say, oh, you're fine, it's safe, or no, you don't want to be you don't want to take that liability on. However, you can tell them, okay, like at the Napa big earthquake that we had, the people that got the most affected were actually not on the fault line. So it's Mother Nature. We don't know what's going to happen. We just know where the fault lines are to make everybody aware. It doesn't mean that, yes, your house is going to fall apart or whatever. We just want to be careful and give them the info. So as I was saying about state and local fire department, if it's in a local high, not very high, then it's going to show in our additional statutory information. And the best thing I can tell you guys is you don't need to know all the details of this. Every report is different. If you guys have a report and you have a question, just call me. We'll go over it together. I can go over it with your clients. But I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on what it means. So this is a picture of the Santa Rosa area, and this is what they would disclose back in the day before all these new fire codes upgraded. So the red was the only areas that they told us before that were at risk. Now this is the same area. Now they're telling all these other people, because in Santa Rosa, all these people were affected and they wish they would have known before what we've told them, what we're telling them now. If you have a report that now is like, you've been in escrow for a while and you're wondering, oh, should I update it with this new information? Remember that anytime you update disclosures, they have a 3-day right of rescission. So if you're getting ready to close, you may not want to update that. They are given the right information already at the time that you pulled it. Everything was on there before, it's just laid out differently. So if you have a question about that, again, just let me know. All right, this is the flood certificate that I was telling you, and the section that you're going to look at is D. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oops. Okay, maybe not. Section D here, so this says, is building mobile home in special flood hazard area containing, flood zones containing letters A or V? Yes or no? This one's no, but if it, so if the report said yes and this says no, you're good. All right. If you guys are working with buyers and you want to know what the taxes are on the property that they're interested in, or the supplemental taxes, we love the word free, right? So if you go to our website, www.disclosures.com, you can go there, you don't even have to log in. We will let you use this online on-demand tax estimator. It gives you the taxes there, the supplemental taxes and everything, so you don't have to guess. So that's something we give you for free. And this is how it looks. You just, the other thing we have that I will say you could use as a marketing tool is in our report, there's a tax section. In that tax section, if you're gonna work an open house, this is a tip for you guys, okay? If you're gonna work an open house, I would take the whole tax section and put your business card, like let's say on the bottom of the beginning of the tax section, and make photocopies. It's maybe 5 pages. Make copies, and a bunch of copies, staple them together. You're gonna have your information on there, and you can actually say, here's the info on this property. If you're looking to see what the taxes are, this is gonna show you the Melrose when they expire. Here's their tax, blah, blah, blah. And then it's gonna come with a tax calculator that actually shows them how to, and they enter it, it's just the formula for it. So it gives them a blank line that says how much was the house, and then it tells them how much to multiply it by, blah, blah, blah. This tells them what the taxes are. So when people want to know those questions, we've had many agents say that they were able to get their business and trust because they felt like they were the only agent that had that on open house. Okay. New earthquake booklets are coming out soon. Soon means we're waiting for the government to finalize these. Some of the new things that they're going to disclose on there is carbon monoxide. They're just, again, it's all these lawsuits that create new bills. My wife, my family, my little grandbabies are my everything. And so I'm here to help answer questions for you guys. So let me know, what would you guys, and I want to show you this little clip, but I don't know where Billy went. Where's my glasses?
Chuck, I can go get her.
Let's see.
Might be up here.
Here?
She might be here.
Thank you. Let's see. I send this to myself.
In the meantime, does everybody know what JCP is?
It's a
Yes, no?
geologic company.
New agents? No? Is it, okay,
Ah.
there you go.
Okay, so new agents.
Go ahead.
When you get a listing, the first thing you want to do is order this report. This tells them all the geological information, the tax information, all of that. So once you get this, if something happens, heaven forbid, you don't close, don't worry about it, we won't charge you. So it's never too soon as long as you know that property is yours. Did the YouTube come up? No? And your email?
No, I couldn't get on my email.
Oh, okay. I just sent it to
While she's doing her little technical stuff, JCP or geological company, you can, when you get a listing, you call them, you order your report. Your report will come to you, and there's no charge for that report. until you actually sell the property. When you sell the property, then it's the seller's responsibility to pay for that report. That report averages between $100 and $125. When I always order a report, I get everything. I want the commercial end of it. I want to make sure that not just a single property, but because, I'll give you an explanation. When you have leaks underground and you're around an area that may have once upon a time, for example, had a service station. Okay, if you didn't order that complete report, it wouldn't show that. So you would want to order that, because I'll give you the good example is, I think I've told the agents that are seasoned, that when we built this building, there was underground gasoline leak in the property. Okay? Why? Well, because across the street where Legacy is, was a service station, way back. And those tanks leaked. We're downhill. So the leaks created the fuel to come underground into this property. Okay? Knowing that, they drilled a well along the side of the entrance of this building on the side over here. And they would come every year to check to see the contents of the soil. Probably about 10 years ago, I seen the guy out there checking it, and I asked him, I said, any contamination still? He said, no, it's all gone. I said, oh, great, thank you. But that's the reason you want to get the full report. Don't be cheap. Your client's going to pay for it, your client's not going to complain. And it protects everybody's interest. Okay?
Yeah, it's not worth saving $10. I mean, we're selling homes for $1 million, our report. Speaking of price, the regular price for the complete report is $123.95. If you order through me directly, I always give you $99. But if you order through our website, I'll give you a promo code. It's my first name, Annette, 95, and you'll get it for $95. Okay, so this is the defensible space inspector that there's only one that covers Hayward, Castro Valley, part of Pleasanton, the Sunol, Castlewood area, and a tiny bit of Oakland. She spoke at Bay East last week. We had her, a Fortress Fire representative, and an insurance broker, all speaking at a class there. So I wanted you guys to hear from her, because I think it's important. I don't know if I can turn the volume up. Let's see. How do you turn this on? You want to turn it on? Is it turned on? I feel like I can find it there, but it just needs to go on.
Ever storm that ignites something on the property, that then ignites something else. Complicated. So I work for Alameda County Fire. We are the fire department for Emeryville, Dublin, Union City, Newport, San Leandro, Castro Valley, unincorporated. So I have some parts of Sunol, I have some parts of Pleasanton, I have Castlewood, that's unincorporated, so that's me. And then Castro Valley, San Leandro, that's going to be me.
Can you guys
So
hear?
if you're selling a home in a very high fire severity zone in those cities, I'm your contact person. So I'll tell you is 90% of the homes that we're losing in these wildland urban interface fires is from the embers. It's an ember storm that ignites something on the property, that then ignites something else, and then makes its way to the home. So how many people here have started a campfire before, or in your fireplace? It's actually kind of difficult depending on the conditions. So if you've got high humidity, it's hard to start a fire. So what fire lights from those embers is that dead material, dead like needles, leaves. That's the stuff that's going to ignite when an ember lands on it. If I took a lighter and I went up to a redwood tree and turned it on, redwood's not going to light. It needs that kindling. So I always tell people start with anything dead and dying, the pine trees, that kind of stuff. The next thing that fire lights is that kindling, that small woody material. So if you have a bunch of dead leaves and then like some juniper, and then that juniper's up against the house, that juniper is going to create enough heat to get the house on fire. So I'll tell you right now, if you have juniper, a hillside covered in juniper, you're not going to pass. That juniper puts off 10 to 15 foot flame lengths. It's the beginning of my existence in Castro Valley, San Leandro. It is highly flammable. It's very hard to put it out. Also cypress trees, another one. It becomes like Velcro for embers. So when I go to a property, I'm looking for if this piece of vegetation catches fire, and then this does, and then this does, and it brings that fire pathway directly to the home, what I'm trying to do is interrupt that pathway. So I want to see plants distance from each other. So if this plant catches on fire, I don't want to get the one next to it, or the one next to it, especially within that first 30 feet of the home. So I'm looking for that distance. I say thin and separate, and then keep it clean and keep it green, especially in that first 30 feet. The two violations I see the most are usually the thickness, which is they're all too close together, or it's too close to the home, and the other one that I see all the time is trees. So I don't typically ask for trees to be removed unless they're dead. If it's alive, what I want to see people do is limb those branches up 6 feet off the ground. So I want to be able to stand underneath it and not touch a branch. So that base of that tree trunk is just trunk. I don't want a bunch of stuff underneath it that's going to ladder up that tree. So clear it 6 feet, and then thin and separate. I would say most of the homes that are selling are usually, I would say 80% are passing. Just because everything that you do to beautify a property usually means it's going to pass. The things that I see that don't pass from real estate transfers is juniper. There's almost always like a hillside that's just all juniper. That's going to be a problem, and then usually tree trimming, just getting them limbed out off the ground. So what I'm looking for is those types of things. The other things you could do to help reduce the risk, I can't require it yet, it's just a recommendation. A lot of times what happens is you put a lot of vegetation up against the fence, that's the vegetation, and then that fence is that fire pathway. The next time you're at your own home, look at where your fence connects to your home. If you have a one-story, I can guarantee you there's a wood soffit about 5 feet above it. That fence is going to push the fire right into the wood soffit. So I recommend non-combustible fences at that connection to the home point. That's a big one that I always recommend for folks. And then keeping anything dead and dying up off the ground. You know, a lot of times people say, oh, there's never been a fire here. I'm like, you have fires in these areas all the time. 4th of July last year, I had them all over my responsibility area. I was like a little stressed at home watching it happen. But what happens is on a normal day, normal weather conditions, fire kicks off, we send engines out, we put it out, everyone goes home. The days that I worry about are those high wind, low humidity days. So winds over 30 miles an hour, humidity's under 15. Those are the conditions of the open hill summer. If something ignites on a day like that, it's going to carry through the canyons faster than we can stop. So most of these are so, if we have to evacuate a neighborhood and we can't get engines, I want these homes to withstand an April shower until we can.
Okay, so I just wanted you guys to hear from her directly. If you're working with a home, and maybe you don't work with homes in those areas often, but what if you get a listing tomorrow? What if your buyer picks a place that is that? And FYI, Contra Costa, all of Contra Costa is asking you to have a defensible space on every property, not just the high. So these are things that you do you need to know. And I wanted you to hear her main tips on what they're looking for. Keep 30 feet away from the house, totally clear, even 100 feet, 200. And so, little tips from her. What I was saying earlier is one thing I do as an extra is the day after you get your report from us, I get a report that tells me if you're in a high fire, high flood, or has a PACE or hero lien on it. And so I try to send you an email saying, hey, want to make sure I don't know if any of you have gotten this from me on the day after. It says, your report you pulled on 123 Main Street is showing a high risk flood zone or fire zone or whatever. And here's what you need to know about it. And then in case some people miss it. So I'm just trying to give you an extra service to make sure you know it's there and what to do with it. So does anybody have any questions? Yes, Frank.
Annette,
Yes.
this has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I'm curious, are those headphones or are
I
those
usually
little
talk
fans?
about this, I forgot. So this is my midlife Christ fan.
Oh. I'm just curious.
Well, people think it's headphones, and I'm like, okay, that's good, they can think that, but usually I just talk about it up front. Yes, I will have a hot flash here and there, so it's gonna help me not worry about it, because one side is not working.
Do they
so
work? Do they work well?
Well, today, last time I used it, this one broke, so.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay, I still
What's it
feel
do?
a little breeze. It's a little fan.
Oh, really? Thank you, we did it.
I just caught my
It's
attention.
okay. Yes.
Annette, you mentioned earlier that The JCP report has a new signature page.
Yeah, everybody, under CAR, disclosure, sorry, let me talk about, natural hazard disclosure companies are not regulated, so they are supposed to follow the CAR guidelines, but we're not regulated, so many don't, so it's very careful, you gotta be very careful who you choose. There's a lot of new pop-up places that'll give you a discount. You guys, it's $99, it's not worth the risk, right? Ultimately, if a buyer moves in and finds out they didn't know anything, who's responsible for picking that?
Huh?
The listing agent and the sellers. So that's who the buyer's going to come after, or their attorney. If there's a reason why they weren't, if you didn't choose the environmental report, which tells, like Chuck was saying, the gas pipeline and all those other things, if you chose to omit that, that could be a problem later.
Shall I, because I ordered something for a listing in Oakland Hills last year, I think November.
Okay.
Do I have to order a new one so I could get the?
Is it still on the market?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, is it in escrow?
No, not yet.
Okay, yep, let's update that, and we'll update it for free.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so please shoot me a little message, and then we'll update that.
Okay.
Thank you, good question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Anybody else?
I just sent you one.
Oh,
You said what JCP?
In order.
an order, awesome, thank you. So, yeah, we go way back, Steve. I don't know, we shared a little bit of a story earlier. I don't know if you want me to share that or not.
Oh, no.
No? Okay, never mind. Okay, so I'm with First American, as you guys know. Our company goes by JCP because JCP was founded over 47 years ago here in Fremont. Yes, and
The company name is JCP?
Yeah.
yes, so it was the initials of the initial owner. We kept the JCP name because it's branded like Kleenex, right?
Yeah.
So when First American bought JCP, we chose to keep that name. So in Northern California, we go by JCP. In SoCal, they have no idea what JCP is. It's First American Natural Hazard Disclosures, or NHDs. With me today, I have my sister partners, Lucy Grezzo with First American Title, and Liz Saucedo with First American Home Warranty. So we are like your one-stop shop. If you want it to be, you can use all three of us. You can give one of us an email and tell us what you need. If you don't want that, you're welcome to use whoever you want. We don't have to be tied in together. So it's your choice. You guys are the boss. So we are very big on supporting our real estate community, and I know with home warranties and NHDs, a lot of companies have went to virtual reps only. We hardly see any competitors out there. We feel like we're so grateful and blessed to have your support, and we want to give back. So part of my giving back to my community in life is to my real estate community that I'm a big part of. So we're very involved in Bay East everything, which includes all the marketing meetings. I cover part of Contra Costa too, so I'm involved there too. So if you guys ever have listings that way and you want to know, I'm not just here for your NHD is what I'm trying to tell you. It's important for agents, and I'm sure Chuck and Melrose tell you guys this. You got to meet other agents. It's about networking. If you're making an offer, if you know the agent, it's, you know, yeah, it might help you a little bit. If they feel like you're ethically better than most, that might help your client. So if you're wondering like, hey, I'm going to have a listing in Walnut Creek, when's the marketing meeting? Where can I present my listing? I'm here to help you. All of us are. If you want to know about ARIA, Women's Council, YPN, if you want to go, if you want to mingle, if you guys, I know being in real estate, I had my license way back, still have it, I don't practice, I feel it's a conflict. You can't be on an MLS, you can't be part of BASE and be both, you have to pick a lane, right? So I don't practice it, but I've been in your shoes before, and it can feel lonely out there sometimes. You guys don't have to feel lonely, we're here for you. That's my whole thing is, if you want to get out and mingle with other people, come on, let's go. We're everywhere. We'll take you. We can go together. We'll meet you there, whatever. So if you have any questions for myself or Lucy or Liz, please let me know. Yes?
Like one general question.
Sure.
Let's say we know something from the disclosure, like Chuck just mentioned, underground tank.
Underground leaking storage tanks.
what should the buyers do, or should they avoid, or just they?
Oh, if it says yes?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so in our report, in the additional statutory section, so not the first signature page, but there's 2 other to follow, it will say LUST, that's the leaking underground storage tanks, and everywhere on our report will tell you where we get our information from, so we'll give you the link to where to go. If you call me, and that's probably one of my favorite questions is, oh my gosh, my client's freaking out, it says they're on a LUST site. I know right where to go, and gives me a map, I put the address, and it tells me, okay, within this range, here's a red dot, here's a red dot. If I click on it, it'll say, back in blah, 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 1990, they cleaned up a Chevron gas tank, a gas station, and it all passed in 1991. But in 93, they had to go back and research again, and they found this, and here's all the information. It's so simple and easy. We can tell you, and I can tell you 99% of the time they're old and they're closed already. Because before a builder can build, they have to make sure they pass code. So normally they've already cleaned it up, not always, but we're gonna show you, almost always, it's already fine.
Because I have been told like super fun.
Yeah,
The agents told me, try to avoid this area, that's a super fun area. So I wonder like how we should respond to the actual one.
if you contact me, I will go through it with the fine-tooth comb, and I will even get my geological department involved. If I don't know exactly the answers, they will research it with us, and we can even get your clients on the phone, and we'll have a 3-way conversation. And again, we'll never tell them you should buy it or you shouldn't, but we will tell them all the facts and where we get the info. And if they want to call, like, the city will know more often. They have to call the city if they want to know like more details than what we could ever offer because of the city's guidelines. But normally they feel good once they talk to us, and sometimes they want to talk to the geologist.
That's the word.
Yes, which he spoke here before. He used to live in Fremont, so he would come here and speak, and Melrose asked me, is he available? He moved to the Rockland, Roseville area, so, and he's super slammed right now, so he only traveled very rarely, like twice a year. But, yeah.
That's Marshall's.
Yes.
You remember Marshall?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember him, but
Okay.
remember him, yes. He used to play he plays in a band and stuff, so yes. I'll
By
check
the
in
way,
with
in
him.
case you ever look at Facebook, you'll see her everywhere. I don't know how she gets around so much, but she's everywhere.
He's super active.
So let me give you another example. Many years ago, I listed a house in Cabrillo, and I had a JCP report. Thank goodness. But the owner never knew that a main gas line went underneath that house, off of, I believe off of Dakota Road. And it went right directly underneath that home. Now, had we not known that, what would have happened if maybe that person wanted to put a pool there and started digging or something? I mean, you see, you don't know these things, so this is why it's so important when you get those reports, read them. If you don't understand them, don't try to be the expert, call her.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes, and the neighbors talk, so when they close, the neighbors will tell them, did you know?
Yes, exactly. Another thing I like to bring up is sitting in the back over there from the home warranty company. She's just looking at her phone, I think, but listen, not paying attention. But I'm talking about you.
She's working.
The one thing that you guys who are new may not know, title companies can't give you a lot of stuff anymore. Years ago, when I was in the business, we can get anything. But how can we get things that would help us? Help us get listings, help us door knocking, material. Liz, tell us what you can do for us.
I can help you with marketing tools. We have free, really like that word free, home maintenance guides, a lot of things that you can use to put on social media, for social media posts, door hangers, just listed, just sold cards, and it's all free. We'll send it to you, we'll print it on really nice paper, and we'll send it off to you so that you can use it, you can drop things off. to, you know, if you wanna go door knocking, canvassing, whatever you like. So definitely, reach out to me if you're interested in some free marketing tools to help you get leads. Your success is our success, so we're here to help.
Yeah, and you can even customize with your logo and stuff on a lot of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so you got a trio here.
Yes.
You got
Yes.
JCP, you got home warranty, you got title,
Yeah.
it's all one
Yeah,
shot.
and you can get a list from Lucy on
Get your phone
you know,
number.
who to go after,
Yeah.
and then I'll give you the tools to do that, so.
And if
Simple, so you utilize that, it's really good stuff. Okay, anybody else have
I have
any
a
questions?
question. Annette, can the public also search on their own? Say, for example, there was an old business of maybe automotive shop in a certain location, there's an address. Can they go look on their own if there was
Yes.
any environmental concerns there?
So on the sample report, or if you if they don't have a report, let's say, I can give them the link to go right there. So our reports tell you everywhere we get all of our info from. A lot of it is open to the public. They may not get as much detail for what you're asking me about. They will get that on there.
On the link? There's a link.
They just go to the, and it's not really user-friendly from a phone, from a mobile device, even an iPad. If people need that, I need to be on a laptop because it doesn't let you do the same. As soon as you open the map, it'll say enter the address, and then it comes with a 1,000-yard radius of the house. And it'll give you the little red checks where there's something going on around there. You click on that little X, and it'll come and give you all the details. It opens it all up, yeah.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
but you can call me if you
Yeah,
have.
I'd like to get the link.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for her? Hearing none, I thank you so very much.
Thank
That
you
was
so
really
much.
nice.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, now we're going to get into another subject. The other subject is, legislative day. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Ledge Day is May 1st. That's on a Wednesday, I believe, up in Sacramento. Did anybody get a link from Peggy's?
Yes.
How many people are going? How many people signed up? 1, 2? Well, Frank, you're going to go. All right, just to let you know, I do drive up, so if anybody wants to go with me, you're welcome to. I can hold up to 3 other people, 3 people total. So if you're interested in getting up there and you want to ride, we can meet here and I'll take you out. It's free lunch. You'll get to meet legislators. It's a very exciting day. You get to learn quite a bit. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. With that being said, the next subject, the lawsuit, NAR. You guys worried about that? Huh?
Yeah.
Anybody worried about it? Right. It's actually the best thing that can happen in many ways. I'll tell you what. You get that buyer-broker agreement, and guess what? Where are they going to go? You need to educate your client. When you're dealing with a listing, you have to educate the client. When you're dealing with the buyer, you have to educate the client. Now, you have a buyer-broker agreement with somebody, and you're holding an open house. You have to ask the question. And you have to make sure that that individual who walked into your open house, when you ask the question, do you have a buyer-broker agreement? Yes or no? They could lie. But you have to let them know the circumstances. If they do lie, what could happen? They would be responsible. Okay? So, you gotta make sure all that kind of stuff happens. Now, the other question coming to me is, how come we haven't done a class on buyer-broker agreement? Why? Because why confuse you? Let's wait till May. I think I'm hearing May 15th, I believe.
Yeah, but we're not gonna really know about the form changes, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the form should be out around May 15th, according to the
Yeah.
attorneys I heard on Friday.
Right.
We had a,
But those may end up, well, we'll have them all, everyone will be able to really see them by mid-May, June, you know.
they're talking mid-May, because they
Yeah.
want to get it started ahead
But
of
those
way
may
ahead.
change.
I'm sorry?
Those may change.
They may change.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is, right now, everything's changing.
Yeah.
So, don't get too worried. Everything is being handled. Matter of fact, if you looked in the newspaper, if you do take a newspaper, in the Argus, well, it used to be the Argus, it's whatever it is. In the real estate section, there's a section in there was put in there to inform the public that conditions have always been negotiable. Nothing has changed. We haven't done nothing wrong. Unfortunately, the the perception is that we always have a fixed amount, and that's not true, okay? So just realize that if your client asks you, our commissions have always, and always will be negotiable, end of story. We do not discuss commissions amongst ourselves, it's illegal, but go ahead.
But the consumer already knows that, because a buyer who buys it knows that it's been negotiable, and then sellers who is giving us the listing also knows that they are negotiating.
Sure.
So everybody is aware it's negotiable, so why?
Especially here in California, but that's not throughout the nation.
Oh, I see.
I was just gonna say, it's always been that way in California,
Yeah.
because it's in our listing agreement.
Right.
We show what we're gonna pay the other side, but it hasn't always, it's not that way in the rest of the country. And the rest of the country is where this stupid lawsuit happened.
Right.
And, the jury deliberated for an hour and a half. So obviously, they had already made up their mind. And quite frankly, I've always felt that NAR could have prevailed had they taken this to the Supreme Court. But the reality is, how much money are you going to spend to get to the Supreme Court? You're better off to settle, and the uncertainty that it causes while you're in litigation is a problem for our industry. One thing that everybody's upset about and afraid about is the compensation not being shown on the MLS. That probably will happen sometime in July.
Correct.
Where you won't be able to show the buyer side commission, and we'll have to find another way. We don't know what that other way is going to be yet.
Looks like on social media.
Yeah, but, there's always a way. Yeah. Call the agent. I mean, that's how
I mean, it's stupid, it's dumb, but unfortunately, the rest of the nation, and I do blame NAR in many ways, because NAR should have been more on top of that with all MLSs throughout the country. That was a mistake, and I think they recognize that now. And that's starting to be publicized more and more. But we have always done it right. California has been way ahead of the rest of the nation for many years and still is.
We should be a total different country.
Well, basically, we are the 5th or 6th largest
And what
economy in the
usually
world.
happens with change like this, it's usually always for the better.
Yeah.
We're gonna be better agents, it's gonna be a better industry. But one of the things that I've experienced in commercial is there's never a listing showing what the buyer side's getting paid. You always have to call the listing agent and find out. Sometimes the seller side will pay buyer side in commercial. Sometimes they don't. They say, no, your buyer's gonna have to pay you.
Yep.
That's how it works in commercial.
Oh.
And that's probably worst case scenario for residential.
It's probably what they want us to go that direction.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
the
Commercial.
only complicated thing is that what do we write on prior buyer's broker agreement?
We'll go over that with you.
Yeah.
It'll
There was
change.
a, remember?
Yes, once we get that, the new one, in, we'll go over it.
Chuck, the
Thank you.
point you opened with is this change is for the better. It really is.
Change
Like
is
Steve
always for the
said
better.
too.
We,
I
you
mean,
know, it's just hard because, look at, I come back from the horse and carriage age, okay? The horse and
You've
carriage
seen a lot of
age
change.
was one-page contract, no inspections except a termite inspection, that was all you had, or a roof inspection. We didn't even have a general house inspection, it was called appliance inspection. We didn't even have home warranty until around that time. So, as things went on, agents would say, oh my God, 2 pages now? Oh Lord, now we're up to 6 pages? And all these disclosures we never had. So, it's really the attorneys that have gotten involved, and so we have to continue to protect ourselves.
And the other thing I want to add is we are very fortunate to be a part of the Bay East
Absolutely.
Association.
Absolutely.
They are one of the top associations
In the
in the
nation.
country.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
they really are watching out for us. Tricia Thomas is a great CEO. We really should not have to worry.
No.
We are well taken care of in our area, so.
Yep.
Chuck, just curious.
Yes.
Is it all the time the commercial that they don't have to pay the buyer's agent? Is it all?
In commercial real estate, it's often, it's negotiable as well, but the majority of them is the buyer pays the commission.
Oh, I never even thought so.
Yeah, that big stuff, yeah. But everything is negotiable.
So we work out well with them, so, just like residential, maybe work out well eventually.
Who knows? We'll see where it goes. there's only a couple new agents here right now.
Yesterday was the last day.
Both of you guys are basically the newest agents that are sitting here right now.
You can step down.
Is there anything you guys need or want to go over? Like any kind of class you need personally?
I said two of them, but I said the listing agreement and the buyer's one as well.
So listing agreement?
Yeah.
You? Listing agreement? You want to have a personal session with me?
Sure.
Is an afternoon, like a Tuesday afternoon, a good? Like today on a Tuesday, or what day is good for you?
Probably good
Both.
today.
So I can take two of you into the conference room and sit down with you and go over the listing agreements with you.
Yeah, I'll probably do today.
Hmm?
I can do today.
When?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
You're good today? You want to make it 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
That work or not? 1:30? You're looking at your watch. What are you thinking?
I said I gotta go pick up my girlfriend too. That's why I took off from work.
You have to pick up your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, priorities, brother.
Priorities.
She is pregnant, so yeah.
Oh,
Now, these are the bigger priorities. How about tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Let's say 10:30?
Yeah, sounds good.
10:30
Do we
morning.
have to sit here and listen to you fill out the dance card?
Yeah. The rest of you can go. Goodbye. Okay, 10:30 tomorrow.
I think we
Sounds
have a
good.
list
Anybody
of,
else who wants to join me can, by the way. Okay?
I think we have a list of classes coming up for the office. Melrose announced it last time.
Yeah, but this is special.
Oh, okay.
This is me helping them to move up a little quicker.
Okay, I
That's
just want to let everybody know too that
Yeah,
they're.
we do. But I just want anybody that needs any help like that,
Yes.
I want to try to personally help them as much as I can.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
one more,
Sure.
on a different topic, the rule for 55 and above.
55 and above. Oh, I got another year to
People
go.
who have, they can take their tax bracket.
Basis with them, yes.
Basis with them, with the same sister counties, which have the same program.
Yes.
And get,
Not the same program.
okay.
Okay. You're 55 and over. It's not just 55 and over. You could be 25.
Okay.
Then it could happen. Because if you're in a fire area zone that's created where you had to move, that's another option.
Yeah, if there's a distress.
So there's a few other areas that you can do that. But let's take 55 and over.
Is divorce?
You can do it as many times as you want. I think I forgot how many times, it's like
Is
3 or 4
divorce,
times.
a catastrophic?
Everywhere in the state of California follows the same, every county in the
Every
state of
county.
California has to follow the same rule now. Before 55 and over, in order to transfer your tax basis with you, you only would do it with counties that would allow it. So Alameda County would allow it,
Oh, okay.
but it was too expensive. So when you wanted to go to a different county, they didn't take it. Well, the law changed, now every single county has to accept it.
Okay, so every
So you can go everywhere and anywhere in the state of California.
Yes.
So, and like fire is something disaster. Is divorce also something like that?
Divorce,
Comes in
no.
the same? No.
No, no.
Well,
People
what-
are divorcing all the time.
Okay.
Because, hey, it's a society that we live in today that if something doesn't work, throw it away. And I've learned that in life is not easy. We don't all get along all the time. And just because your spouse didn't agree and it's easy, bye, I'm getting rid of you.
Right.
Well, you gotta work at it, okay? Nobody's perfect. After 55 years of marriage, trust me, it's not easy. But my wife will tell you the same thing. But we all have to work together and don't throw things away. Work at it.
So if a couple is living in a house and they're both above 55, they can both take that same tax base and buy separately?
Both of them?
I mean, both are separating now.
Separately.
Both are separated. I think, that's another question. I'm not sure. I think you might have to split that amount.
Oh, okay, because that is my
I'm
question
not
of
sure.
mine.
That you have to, the good thing is we're gonna have the county assessor here. He's coming
Okay.
up, can't remember what day. Within the next few more weeks, he'll be here.
Fong Law?
Huh?
Fong Law is
Yeah.
coming here?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, we call the county assessor,
That
he's,
is, oh, he's good,
yeah,
yeah.
he used to be a realtor,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's, but he said he'd be more than happy to come, so he's coming here.
What's his name?
So you can ask that question.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So this is something which you're saying that husband and wife both now are buying two separate
Yeah, I
homes.
don't think you can do the same thing, because, you know, you have to split that, I don't know how they work that, I really
They have
don't.
to split
What,
I
on
can't-
the
I-
exemption?
Yeah,
No, you gotta split it.
no,
That's
not
what
the
I said.
exemption.
Yeah, it's
No, we are not
It
talking
has
about
to be, there's
exemption.
no other way, on the
No,
exemption.
we are not talking about the
The
exemption
transfer,
here.
tax.
We are talking about the tax base.
Tax
Yeah, I got it,
base.
I got it.
Okay.
But you both can't take the same tax base on both, on separate properties.
Right.
You have to split that amount, that tax base.
Or they're just doing.
Somehow, I don't know how to
You
work
know,
it.
that's something Fong Lao would know.
I know, that's exactly what I said,
He would
Yeah.
know, yeah.
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 I've never heard that question before.
I haven't either.
No, because I'm in a
Google it.
situation, my client is waiting for her to be at 55, so she could do, her husband is already, who she's splitting with, already is 55, and he would like to take that opportunity
Right.
and buy something, and she said if she waits, she wants to also
Right, do the
take
same
the
thing.
opportunity, but.
That's gonna be interesting. I don't,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming somehow it must be split, or they're only gonna give it to one, I don't know.
Well,
Right?
why
That's a
not do
good
both?
question.
I mean, it should be both for both.
Why would it be both?
Because both have, it's the age which is going to bring it, and
No,
she's
well, it's the
also-
amount of money too.
That's true.
That's
Or how
what
they
I'm
could
thinking.
take that, well, you know what?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, but that's a good question.
That is a good.
That is a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's,
You stumped the band.
but that's the reason
Google
why I
it.
tell you people, never say you know something you don't know. Okay? If you don't know, you're gonna find out, but don't tell them you know, because I don't know. So I'm not giving you an answer because I don't know.
I should be knowing this sooner because I can get a listing if she's, then she doesn't have to wait.
Well, you can
She's
call his
not
office,
getting-
I have his information.
Okay.
Tester all.
You can call, I'll give you the information, come to my office
Okay,
after.
yeah, because if the only reason she's waiting for next year is to get this opportunity.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you the number, you can call.
Okay.
Okay? Anybody else have
So the
anything?
transfer, the transfer is only in California, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving to the Southern California, not.
Southern
to
California,
Florida.
it doesn't matter, anywhere in California.
Anywhere,
okay.
When you come out of California, you're out of luck.
Yes.
Okay? Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right, you guys, have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Chuck.
very
Thank
much.
you very much.